Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. My name is Rick, and I'm joined with my roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
And Socket, who's in the back if you are looking.
My dog is doing the most right now. I'm sorry.
But if you love Socket, that must mean you're a great person. So you should really like and subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate it if you consider liking this video or wherever you're listening from. Subscribing absolutely helps us out. So please subscribe. And if you would like to chat with us, I heard Melody is a big fan of chatting with us. Melody, I hear you're like our number one fan. I'm calling you out here again. There you go. If you want to chat with us like Melody and our good friend, Jamie Dawes, Oi Governor, who has... Yes, it is.
That's British.
Oi Governor.
That's British.
He says...
Anar.
He said, "No, I am no. I'm gonna stand up for my my brother from another mum, Jamie. We don't use that. It's not our word. Us
All right,
Australians." Jamie says, because when we asked him when he had read them, he says he read them around 2 years ago, but his decision was just because everyone was telling him different things about the reading order, so he just stuck with the publication order.
Yeah, my friend Brittany was saying something similar, that she was like, everyone is telling me different things. Everyone is very opinionated. She's now on what will be the tandem read for us, and she's not tandem reading.
Ooh, that's actually a bad choice.
I told her that she could come on and fight with us when we finish the tandem read.
Yeah, that's a bad choice. Anywho,
have you done it the other way?
What?
No.
Have you done it the other way?
I haven't done it the other way, but
you can't possibly do it both ways, so you don't know. You can't know that one is bad because you can only. I think I talked about this with Assassin's Blade. You can only experience it for the first time one way.
To pull a Rick here, Amanda, you don't know.
I mean, I don't really know how to best describe it, but like while you're doing...
You don't have to. It's fine.
Don't shut me up.
We're going to debate this every single episode of the Tandem Read when we get there also.
But we got to get there first. In order to get there first, we got to start Queen of Shadows, which is what we are currently reading.
Well, we're not starting it because this is part 2 of Queen of Shadows.
But in order to get to the Tandem Read, we have to continue pushing through Queen of Shadows, which is what we're doing right now.
So, wait.
Right? It's Queen of Shadows?
We're on chapter... Okay, sorry. I saw chapter 28 to 35, which is what our notes say, and I was like, Rick, you motherfucker, if you made it 55 instead of 53, 52, I'm going to lose my mind. But you didn't. It's just that it's in pieces, and the first piece, I saw 35, and my brain went 53.
Yep.
Anyway, we're starting with chapter 28. A sobbing Aelin throws herself into the massive arms of Rowan Whitethorn, completely overwhelmed by the glorious reunion in the foggy alley, before dragging him back to her apartment. After a surprisingly intimate and banter-filled bath where Aelin washes the Fae Prince's newly shorn hair. Shorn is a great word. We should use the word shorn more often.
Is my hair shorn?
No.
Fuck you.
The joyous mood shatters when Rowan drops the massive bombshell that Aedion's father is actually the legendary warrior Gavriel. The family drama instantly violently escalates when Aedion discovers Rowan has already sworn the sacred blood oath to his cousin, prompting the enraged general to throw a massive temper tantrum and storm out into the night. Okay, a couple things happen in this chapter that I really like. When she talks about him cutting his hair, she says, when you shift, will your hawk form be plucked?
Yeah, that's good.
10 out of 10. She does literally use the euphemism here, velvet wrapped steel.
Yeah.
It's about his muscles. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh, is that where it comes from? Is that why we say that? Okay, I would like to backtrack and say that I am... no, I don't know. When did we find out that Aedion is trying to take the blood oath? That wasn't in the last chapter, right? It was like 4 chapters ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad the break is between those two. because if I had just read this straight through, like I feel like in my head I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be such a thing, like the blood oath thing, and it like kind of seems like Aedion's like, okay, like I don't know if it's gonna like rear back up again, and it does happen like a little bit throughout the book, but like it's not like he doesn't like leave the court over it immediately.
Well, the first blow up was pretty big.
Yeah,
they like said some fucked up shit to each other, and he like slept on the roof.
Yeah, but like then it's over.
Yes.
He comes back and he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, I know you are. And Rowan's like, don't ever talk to her like that again. And he's like, okay.
And Rowan's like, we're going to be a team. And he's like, I've wanted to hear that for a decade. So I guess we're okay.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I guess it was normal. Like, it was like how healthy, well-adjusted people in healthy, well-adjusted relationships would handle something that they perceive as a betrayal.
Isn't that crazy?
And it was, I just like, I don't know. I thought we were going to be Sarah J. Maas about it, but we were instead like, like it wasn't a betrayal because you didn't know I was alive.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the ways I read this too, and having read all 3 of her current series now, and we've said this before, like she started writing this when she was young. And we've seen sort of like the evolution of her writing through ACOTAR and then through Crescent City. And so this is one of those things where this feels like young SJ to me, you know? Like this is one of those things where it's like, oh, is it going to be a big deal? And then it's like, oh, this was so minor. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
And in later series, this wouldn't have happened in this way. Like,
yeah. I feel like there was something else that happened like this in a series that we read that we were like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then it was like nothing.
That was like Quicksilver and Brimstone. Brimstone. Wasn't it like that?
Like the concept of Brimstone?
Yeah. No. The book.
No, I know, but like what was it in Brimstone?
I think it happened multiple times in Brimstone. Also, shout out Erica. Please read Brimstone.
You know, she was like, I finished Quicksilver like a month ago and I didn't tell you about it. I don't know.
No,
okay,
it was Fourth Wing series. It was one of the Fourth Wings where it was like, yeah, it was one of the Fourth Wings where it was like, oh my God, it was when Dane had to like get some note from his dad and we thought it was gonna be this whole big fucking thing. And then in the next chapter was like, yeah, I got the note.
And we're like, what? All right, chapter 30. Trapped deep beneath the glass castle in a secret pitch black room, the Valg prince piloting Dorian Haviliard's body gloats over a chilling collection of conquered crowns. The sadistic demon taunts the broken prince's suppressed consciousness, gleefully promising that he will enjoy tearing the realms to absolute shreds. Completely paralyzed by despair and horror, a devastated Dorian desperately wishes that Aelin had just swung her sword and killed him when she had the chance. Rough.
Yeah.
Chapter 31.
I do think that's sort of like an important thing to keep in mind for how Dorian's story progresses in this book, though, is that like we had seen this in the last book with General Narok and one of the others who were like, they were like, please just kill us at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And Dorian's like already having some of those feels. And so it's sort of like, where's that going to go?
Yeah. And we see that with like really like so many of the princes or so many of the Valg demon creatures that like if she is able to speak to the human in there, just kill me. All right, Manon Blackbeak storms into Duke Perrington's war tent to demand access to her witches, only to discover a hollowed out Kaltain Rompier torturing a screaming soldier with agonizing burnless shadow fire. So I wrote, Kaltain is a shadow mommy? ?
Ooh.
The Duke casually snaps the soldier's neck and issues a terrifying threat to send Valg princes to slaughter her lesser witches if Manon continues to question his horrific breeding experiments. Meanwhile, a terrified Elide Lochan wakes up in the freezing Eyrie, which is not a word I knew was a real word, safely tucked beneath Abraxos's wing, secretly eavesdropping as Manon ruthlessly asserts her dominance over her rebellious cousin, Asterin.
No notes.
Chapter 30.
We continue to stand Abraxas.
Yeah.
Who's just like has his wing over Elide and is like keeping her all protected and warm
and safe
up in the Rook Eyrie. And that's just, it's sweet. He loves the wildflowers and
cuddling.
I love him. Little Ferdinand. Aerie is the name of American Eagle's like athleisure and cute underwear line. And I always just thought it was a fake word, and it's because it's like a nest.
Mm-hmm.
And the god of war.
Nope. That's Aries, and it's Ares.
Okay.
Not to be confused with Aries, which is the zodiac sign.
That's happening right now.
Yes, happy Aries season, everybody. Enjoy burning shit to the ground. Chapter 32, catching Elide attempting to sneak out of the Aerie, a cunning Manon ruthlessly blackmails the mortal girl into infiltrating the secret subterranean chamber to spy on the Yellowlegs coven. After days of grueling labor in the laundry to find an opening, Elide sneaks down the stairwell and intercepts her creepy uncle, Vernon Lochan, who is cornering a deeply traumatized Kaltane. Proving she has the nerves of an absolute assassin, Elide boldly claims the wing leader sent her to retrieve the lady, safely escorting Kaltane away before marching into Manon's tower to demand a vial of poison. I'm locked in for this whole storyline.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think it's...
Okay, because last time you weren't super locked in.
No, I'm locked in. I just don't care about the
order.
I don't care about who's second who's
and
third.
Yeah.
I'm just I don't care about that.
Yeah.
And I do understand that that's a plot device, and I had a feeling it would be, and it is in this section, but I'm I just feel like we're spending too much time on that. But in a few chapters, it's because they basically stage a mutiny, and so we needed the seeds of that for this to happen. But I'm I don't know.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's why I had said that in our last episode.
Yeah.
The next section, I think you're gonna get it. So
yeah,
we get there fast enough that it's not
exactly
overwhelming.
Yeah, I was we don't need to do this. I don't know. I find the concept of loyalty not that interesting to read about. Okay, chapter 33, determined to prove he is fit for battle, Aedion initiates a brutal sparring session with Rowan in the warehouse, but the ancient Fey warrior effortlessly puts the general on his back to violently enforce Aelin's orders. The testosterone-fueled standoff is interrupted by the ever-glamorous Lysandra. Are we saying Lysandra? Lysandra?
I've been following you by saying Lysandra.
Lysandra.
I think that's how I've been pronouncing it, but I do think
I couldn't remember how I said it. It didn't. I wasn't sure how it was supposed to come out.
I think it doesn't matter. We'll call it Lysandra. I think it's
Lysandra.
I think it's Lysandra also.
Lysandra?
But it's Lysandra to me.
That.
Me either.
It's Lysandra. Ever glamorous Lysandra, who drops the horrifying intel that Arobynn Hamel tracked wagons of fully... Oh my god. Arobynn tracked wagons full of magic-wielding prisoners headed straight for Morath. Summoning Kael Westfall to the apartment, Aelin hands the captain highly detailed maps of the sewers and subtly goads him into planning a desperate ambush to rescue the doomed captives.
Wyrdstone Blackbeak.
What?
Wyrdstone Blackbeak.
Who?
It's like a wagon.
Oh, because I said wagon weird. Yeah.
It's okay. We're tired. We have work tomorrow.
I'm having trouble reading today.
You want me to just read?
Hi, Cedric. A dog is here.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Chapter 34. Aelin gives Rowan a grand tour of Rifthold, but the peaceful afternoon shatters when they spot a flower girl who looks... I wouldn't say she looks exactly like Lyria, but she reminds him of Lyria, forcing them to bond over their shared devastating grief. Seeking a distraction, Aelin breaks into the abandoned Royal Theatre and sits at the grand pianoforte, unleashing a breathtaking, triumphant symphony that brings the stoic Fey warrior to actual tears. After hitting the royal bank to secure more gold for her impending war, a secretive Aelin refuses to tell Rowan her master plan, choosing instead to infuriate him with her signature arrogance.
Aerith was a flower girl.
Yep.
Look at you. Look at you. Proud of you.
Because I was a nerd in the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say something, I forgot what it was. Oh, similarly, we get a line here where Rowan is like, when you have your kingdom back, you need to build a theater because artists are essential. And we just we keep, that is a point that we've talked about a lot, but it is mentioned here as well.
As I've always been saying, I love when they show that art is resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm famous for saying that.
You are famous for saying that. Chapter 35.
Before we go there, I do like that this is, we see this throughout that, I think I said this in the last episode, that like Aelin is sort of like her own Ocean's 11 in some way, in terms of like crafting all these master plans and then not always telling everybody. But I do think they get more and more pronounced as the series goes on. And so I think this is like, in Queen of Shadows in particular, in this set of chapters also, is one of the first times that we're like, oh, she's carrying like a lot of planning and organization logistics in her head at all times.
I was going to talk about this when we get to like the Arobynn chapters, but like there were several moments where I was like, okay, he's playing 4D chess and she's playing 5D chess, so he's playing 6D chess, so she's playing 7D chess, and like it's just, I was having trouble following, so like I can't imagine how Chaol feels. He's just
he's just a quarterback.
He's just a refrigerator.
He's the boy next door.
He's just a bellboy. You can't treat the staff like this.
But we'll talk about it when we get there, because I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, no, I had another thought that I wanted to say here. Oh, I felt like, and I don't know, like, you know, we didn't see Rowan for like 25 chapters, and now he's back, and their relationship feels different to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure it feels different in like, I'm not sure I like followed her on that leap. It's like, I don't know, like the first thing she does is like bathe him. And that just didn't, like, I know that he like tattooed her and that they were sleeping in the same bed, but like, I felt like immediately we were getting like, you know, fated mate vibes from them. And it's like, oh, I didn't think we were there at the end of the last book. And now he's gone for 25 chapters and we're immediately there. So like, maybe there's like an absence makes the heart grow fonder thing. Or maybe Sarah just like didn't count on us to read them so quickly back to back and for us to be like, wait a second, how did this occur? But it does feel like, I don't know, like this was really beautiful, but like to me in the timeline of their relationship, this needed to happen before she bathed him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we did read them back to back. I think they had to have been at least a year spaced out, but I do think it's one of those things where it was like, you know, you don't know what you got till it's gone, you know?
Totally.
So.
Well, and I would say, I mean, at the end of the last book is where they became Karanam. And so it's like, I think partially sort of like the strengthening of that bond and like the continued trust that was built because of that whole thing that happened. And it's referenced sort of multiple times in the last book, like that he had bathed her and he had like helped her heal and those sort of things. And so I think this is sort of like her coming into her own on the other side of the relationship. I don't know. I didn't find it quite as, I don't know, stark.
I mean, I've personally bathed all of my Karanam before, so I don't know.
Chapter 35. Covered in
cars. Wax on, wax off the cars.
Oh my God. Covered in black demon blood, Chaol and Nezrin. Again, I'm deeply disinterested in Nezrin, but it's fine. Successfully ambushed the prison wagons in the forest, beautifully slaughtering the Valg guards and liberating the traumatized. Magic wielders. The two rebels share a tense but promising moment of camaraderie, agreeing to grab a celebratory drink before debating whether it's finally time to abandon the doomed capital. Later that night, while a shirtless Rowan is fast asleep, a restless Aelin sneaks out of their bed and silently arms herself with the legendary swords Goldrin and Damaris for a secret midnight mission. Bartholomew, what did you think of this chapter?
Meow meow. For those of you who are listening, we've now been introduced to 3 of Kim's animal friends.
And one of my animal friends.
And one of Amanda's animal friends. And I have Spider-Man.
Right. Because we're recording later in the evening and we don't usually record at this time of night. And so I think for me, at least, all of my animals are like, what are you doing? Why are you talking in Zoom when we should be on the couch and cuddling? So
I don't know how to read after 8 p.m. apparently. I'm like a pumpkin after midnight. I just forget literacy. All right. Chapter 36. Sneaking through the reeking Rifthold sewers, Aelin brilliantly lures a sadistic Valg commander and his terrifying Wyrdhound into a deadly trap by slipping out of a street grate and letting the pursuing Lorcan walk right into the demon ambush. Unfazed by the slaughter of furious Lorcan.
Lorcan.
Are you laughing at me? No. Okay. A furious Lorcan survives the bloodbath and violently pins Aelin against a brick wall in a dark alley, only to find Rowan Whitethorn's knife pressed instantly against his throat. After the immortal warriors exchange some highly aggressive testosterone-fueled threats, Lorcan vanishes into the night, leaving Aelin and Rowan to return to their warehouse, where they engage in some dangerously flirtatious banter about her reckless independence. I wrote my note for this chapter: when are we going to talk about telepathy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It has to be
ever.
We can talk to each other without words.
In the next chapter, Aedion clocks it. He's like, you guys have to stop doing that. When are we going to talk about it?
I mean, I am Italian and I can talk with my hands and my face very well.
You are a sign language teacher.
I was Italian first.
All right, chapter 37 is my favorite chapter. Trapped in the horrific glass castle dungeons, Dorian Haviliard is forced by the parasitic Valg prince to silently watch the brutal, agonizing torture of his own citizens. This is not why it's my favorite chapter. Other stuff happens. Wait. No.
We'll finish this. Go ahead.
This is incorrect.
It's not right?
I think chapter 37 and 38 are both chapter 38, or both chapter 37.
I don't know. I don't have my book with me.
But I don't have notes for everything. Okay, whatever. At some point in these chapters, we get a Dorian chapter. He's silently watching the brutal, agonizing torture of his own citizens. The ancient demon deliberately feasts on the overwhelming pain and despair filling the blood-soaked chambers, completely ignoring the desperate pleas of a familiar young man begging for mercy. Unable to stop the carnage or reclaim his own body, the broken prince can do nothing but retreat further into his own shattered mind as the demon adds to their twisted collection of nightmares. In the same chapter, the glamorous Lysandra crashes the apartment's pathetic dinner and drops a massive, game-changing bombshell. She is a highly illegal, full-powered shapeshifter.
What?
Who has been trapped in her beautiful courtesan body since magic fell.
I mean, she doesn't drop the bombshell. Rowan drops.
Rowan just smells everything on everybody.
Right. It's a fucking bloodhound.
You're real your dad, and you deserve to be a tiger cat.
Right.
That's his vibe. After casually admiring Rowan's fangs and confirming he recognized her shifter scent, Lysandra warns the group that Arobynn Hamel is officially calling in his favor for the following night. She delivers a velvet sack containing a formal dinner invitation and a highly manipulative gift of almond-scented skin oil, proving that the King of Assassins is desperate to assert his toxic control over the Queen. I had some spoilers about Lysandra. The spoilers I had about her were that she was going to have a redemption arc. And I also thought that she was the one that killed Arobynn. But I didn't know that for sure. And then I feel like at this point, it's pretty obvious in the book that this is what's going to happen. I knew something about a big cat. But at no point was I like, she's magic and she is the big cat, which is now, I think, fairly obviously what's going to happen. Because she keeps talking about how her preferred form would be something large with like claws and fangs. And they refer to her as feline a lot.
But
feline.
Two of the cadre, their forms are big cats.
It's true.
But they don't have green eyes. And she has green eyes.
I mean, in this form, she does.
I don't know what color her eyes are. But then they talk about a ghost leopard later, and I'm like, okay, so that's her. She's a ghost leopard. I don't know. It's fine.
Ghost dogs? Maybe those are real.
Deep cuts for people who are, it's an inside joke about our lives. Anyway, I was like really I didn't think that I was going to have many like shocking moments because I've received so many spoilers. But I genuinely did not predict that she was a shapeshifter. So that was really exciting to me. And I really like her. I like her a lot.
When I read these the first time, I actually had this also spoiled for me, in that Caroline, who is my friend who gave me the hard copies of the books that I eventually someday need to get back to her, but got me to read it in the first place. I was on, I think, like the first book, and she made some comment about how, like, Lysandra is my favorite character, and I love X, Y, and Z about her, and I was like,
who?
Well, I had read Assassin's Blade, so I was like, I know what you're talking about.
Prostitute that we don't like.
Right. But then, like, she said all these things, and I was like, okay, well, I've clocked that for later. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I love her.
She's pretty great.
I was thrilled. I'm 100% here for her redemption arc, which isn't even a redemption arc. Like, it's just like she shows up and she's like, I'm also a victim of how shitty the Maasverse treats women. Do you want
to eat brownies
and
watch some movies?
And it's like, great. And so that's what they do. And then she's like, do you want to murder the guy who ruined both our lives? And Lysandra's like, hell yeah, I do. And so then that happens. Okay. Chapter 39. No, chapter 30. My only note for chapter 38 is I love the word killjoy and we should use it more. So I really don't know what chapter we're on. Anyway, after discovering that Lorcan successfully butchered the stone-skinned Wyrdhound in the sewers, Aelin and Rowan casually ambush a Valg patrol that drag a bound commander back to an abandoned cellar for interrogation. The human host, Stevan, it's not spelled Steven, it's spelled Stevan.
Yep, in my head, Steven. That's Steven.
Yeah, it's definitely Steven.
It's Stevan. Not Stefan and not Steven. Stevie Nicks breaks through the demon's control just long enough to reveal the horrifying truth about the blood-bound Wyrdstone rings and confirm that Dorian Haviliard is indeed possessed by a literal Valg prince. Following the grim interrogation, Aelin sneaks out of bed for a highly secreted ash-covered midnight mission, returning to a furious, overprotective Rowan who is entirely unamused by her reckless stealth games.
What is she up to? I wonder.
Well, now we know what she's up to, but we didn't know then.
Well, we didn't get there yet.
We didn't get there right now in this moment.
Right.
Okay. Chapter 40. Proving she is an absolute survivor, Elide Lochan successfully poisons Elandris and smuggles herself into the subterranean dungeon of Morath, faking a clumsy fall to catch a horrifying glimpse inside the secret breeding chamber. She reports back to a horrified Manon Blackbeak, revealing that the Yellowlegs witches are chained to altars and actively giving birth to grotesque stone-fanged Valg demons. Disgusted by the abomination, the wild-hearted Asterin violently attacks Manon for enabling the slaughter, resulting in a brutal, bloody brawl. Rude. Where a cold-faced Manon officially strips her cousin of her rank as third. Just want to note, in this chapter, watery bowels are back.
Yes, they are. Actually, not only are they back, this is their origin story.
Oh, yeah, I guess this is first. Yeah. Elide's bowels walked so that Feyre's bowels could run.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a couple of vulgar gestures in these chapters, too. So.
And lots of teeth baring.
Yep.
Yes.
Ribbons makes its points, comes up as well, too. At least once.
Yeah, we've had some ribbons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had some ribbons. I had another thought. Oh, when she's looking into the breeding chamber, she refers to a beautiful blonde man. And so I wrote, is the beautiful man that guy from the book? Which I need you all to know that I meant Roland.
Nice.
Now we know later that is who it is.
I was
like, is that the guy?
We didn't even get into that breeding chamber, but just like her third perspective, person perspective was terrifying.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's really horrible.
No, yeah, and I think just the reaction of she was just like violently ill as she was like.
She was like throwing up for like. Yeah. Ever.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a really excellent way to write something so horrible.
Yeah.
Because it's not overly portrayed in like a horror or like gawking or voyeuristic or like, you know, it's not like sensationalized in that way. It's just like, I saw snippets of how terrible it is and this is how I'm reacting, and you, the reader, can fill in
the blanks,
everything else. And that's sufficient. Like, I'm going to remember this. So I think that it's really well done. If she had gone more into it, I think I wouldn't have wanted to read it.
Yeah, no, just 100% with you.
Yeah, and Rick talks about like canon events, and obviously this is like a canon event of learning just sort of like what they're capable of, and also like what they / potentially the matrons are willing to do.
Yeah.
In sort of like partnership to both cause / win this war, and that's perfect.
It is at this point that I'm pissed at Manon. I remain pissed at her for this entire section. I imagine I'm going to end up not pissed at her because I know people like her. But I believe she is taking too long to come around. And I understand she's fighting centuries of conditioning and like an entire culture and like, fine. But I'm like, come on, dude. Like, this should be the moment. It shouldn't have gotten past this. But maybe I'll have a reckoning about that. I don't know.
I will say one thing. So I am a spoiler for later when we talk about what we're reading. I am continuing. I'm almost done, truly almost done with Project Hail Mary. But one of the things that they talk about repeatedly, Andy Weir talks about in the book, is like when interacting with like different cultures and stuff like that they have like culture moments where they basically call like, this is culture, and like you can't argue with that. Because it's like, oh, okay, that's that person's culture. Like, we have to respect that, and we're gonna, like, this is gonna feel at odds, but then we're gonna move on from this moment. And that's sometimes how I feel about particularly like these witches, of being like, that's culture, that's their morality, that's their values.
Yeah, I think.
Not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm thinking about how I want to respond to that. I think that the culture is loyalty to the witches, but this is not a decision that's being made by the witches.
Yeah, or for the witches, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think even if I am like perspective taking for Manon, I saw that. There's a mirror behind Kim, and we just saw little ears, and then Bartholomew just jump on top of a cabinet.
Yep, he is now all the way up there, and he's probably going to yell about it in a minute.
There he is. There he is. Oh.
Yeah, no, he's back.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all, for the interlude from my cat being crazy.
The animals are really on one today.
They really are.
Asleep. Yeah, I just think like, even if I'm like perspective taking into like Blackbeak, Iron Teeth morality, this still feels like this is like, you can't believe that this is what's best for witches and that this is what the witches want.
Again, you're not wrong, but I think Manon, being the wing leader, only cares about what her grandmother says, you know?
Yeah. I just think I believe that I'm supposed to feel this way.
No, yeah, no, I'm angry at her too. So, yes.
Yeah, and she's Kale in this moment.
Yeah.
Who's
like, get it together.
Right. Eventually also going to figure out that some of the things that he's been conditioned to believe are wrong.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 41, steeling herself for the ultimate psychological warfare. Aelin reluctantly rubs Arobynn's almond-scented oil onto her skin, preparing to face her toxic former master. Meanwhile, Rowan and Aedion share a tense but respectful warrior bonding session on the roof, secretly agreeing that when the time comes, Aedion gets the glorious honor of delivering Arobynn's killing blow. I liked that.
Yeah.
It's not what happens, but I liked that they had that moment. The tension totally shatters when Aelin emerges wearing a breathtaking skin-tight black velvet gown adorned with a golden dragon, leaving a completely ravenous Rowan practically drooling over his fire-breathing bitch queen. I love it.
Yeah.
We're the books. We are growing with the books. The spice is growing with the books.
Yep.
Chapter 42, the crew arrives at the heavily guarded Assassin's Keep with the captive demon, and Rowan immediately asserts his dominance by casually revealing he also applied the almond oil, completely derailing Arobynn's creepy scent-marking mind games. Down in the horrific dungeon where Sam Cortland was murdered, a smug Arobynn brutally interrogates and executes Stefan. Slicing off his finger to claim the dark Wyrdstone ring for himself. During the painfully tense dinner that follows, Aelin brilliantly distracts Rowan by secretly...
Everything okay over there?
Yeah, there's weird noises in the hallway and Socket's not barking.
Oh.
So I'm barking.
Silently.
Okay. During the painfully tense dinner, Aelin brilliantly distracts Rowan by secretly telepathing that she isn't wearing any underwear beneath her skin-tight gown, leading to a highly amusing silent flirtation that visibly infuriates the King of the Assassins. She's like, what are we talking about? And he's like, we're talking about blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I was sexting with my Fae prince.
Through his head.
In our minds.
Okay.
I love the almond oil moment.
Yeah.
In this chapter. I fucking love that. I forgot about it when I reread it this time, and I was like, oh, that is such a power play that I totally forgot about.
I was about to say, I'm really proud of Gemini right now for calling out the oil and the quote where she wasn't wearing underwear, because those are the parts that stick out of my mind too.
Yeah, those were the highlights of the chapter for sure. All right, chapter 43, Aelin brilliantly manipulates Arobynn Hamel during a tense meeting by revealing she framed him for her cousin's rescue, forcing the King of Assassins to formally ally with her to protect his own fortune. Overconfident in his absolute mastery over his protege, Arobynn willingly hands over the Amulet of Orinth, entirely unaware that he is casually relinquishing the third and final word key. However, the toxic master attempts to claim their ultimate victory by slipping a dark Wyrdstone ring onto Aelin's finger, right before she leaves, completely convinced he has successfully enslaved the queen to his will. My jaw literally dropped.
Me too. I had to pause here for a minute, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But then we resolve quite quickly.
Right. And I really like that.
I did too. This is the moment where it's like, he's playing checkers and she's playing chess, and he's playing 3D chess and she's playing 4D chess. And they're just constantly one-upping each other. And it's like, well, she is his protege.
Right.
So it's very anything you can do, I can do better.
This is real. Go ahead. Sorry.
Except then he dies.
This is, do you like what they're doing?
I think so. It took me a minute. I was talking to Cindy about it last night. I'm glad that I had time to really read this slowly. If I had read this section in a day, like I read the last section, I don't think I would have gotten any of this, because there were a lot of moments where I was like, I have to go back because I actually don't know what she's talking about. It's just a lot to keep track of. This is
a really, really just left field sort of thing. But if you like this, what's happening with them, the back and forth and the outplaying each other, there's an anime called Death Note that this is basically that. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
you've told me about it.
If this is literally Death Note, this outdoing the other person in this same exact way. So,
yeah.
All right. So she's trapped, right?
She's trapped. Our jaws are on the floor. Chapter 44. Faking a terrifyingly convincing performance as a brainwashed puppet, Aelin tells Arobynn she loves him, only to return to the apartment and casually remove the fake ring that she brilliantly swapped earlier. After hiding the incredibly dangerous word key beneath her floorboards, Aelin shares a deeply emotional moment in the rain with Rowan, but when she tenderly strokes his face, the panicked immortal brutally rejects her touch. Meanwhile, a truly glorious Lysandra sleeps beside a smugly victorious Arobynn before casually pulling a stiletto from beneath her pillow and slicing his throat wide open, finally avenging Sam, Wesley, and herself.
I wasn't convinced yet.
Until she chops his head off. I
needed the next chapter. At this point, I was like, oh shit, this is sort of closed doors. I don't know yet. But I did love Aedion when he was like, bitch, you couldn't have told me that you were faking this.
Yeah, she was like, I didn't tell anybody anything.
It's like, Rowan knew, he smelled me, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's all of this is very Criminal Minds to me. It's like, I don't know, like Jason Gideon and the Fisher King, and then like, that's how it all feels to me. Now we're barking.
Quick aside, now that mine are done barking, since I just got my groceries, sometimes you order frozen Indian food and you end up with a non-dairy burrito.
All right.
Sure.
Thanks for that, guys.
Those are the same thing. Right?
Sure are.
Okay. Chapter 45. Trapped in the darkest, most agonizing corners of his own mind, Dorian Havillard is forced to watch helplessly as the sadistic Valg prince brutally tortures a screaming rebel. The ancient demon cruelly feeds every ounce of the victim's excruciating pain and terror into the prince's consciousness, actively trying to shatter whatever remains of his humanity. Completely paralyzed by despair, the broken human prince can do nothing but endure the unending nightmare as his hijacked hands inflict unspeakable suffering. I feel like every summary we're reading of the Dorian chapters is the same.
It's really similar.
They're killing different people, but it is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 46, the news officially drops that Arobynn has been murdered.
Here we go.
I'd like to add, he wasn't just murdered, he choked on his own blood.
Sure did.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer fella. An utterly exhausted Aelin heads straight for the Assassin's Keep to face the fallout, determined to secure her inherited empire and protect the woman who finally ended their tormentor. She arms herself to the teeth and prepares to enter the lion's den. Knowing this is her absolute final performance, she slips into the lethal, arrogant persona of Celaena Sardothien one last time before kicking open the doors. I loved this moment because you've grown with her so gradually that you almost forgot how different Celaena Sardothien was than Aelin Galathinius. And to watch her go back into that mode and to watch Rowan and Aedion see her in that mode is like, oh, like she's really, we've been together for thousands of pages and she has grown up a lot. And like her acceptance of herself as Aelin is so different than who Celaena Sardothien was.
And also too, I like she knows she's going back into her final performance here, and she tells us that as she like gears up to go in the door. But kind of what you're saying, like it's so extreme.
Yeah.
And it's so like popcorn good just to watch her like walk in and be this like true ruthless badass.
Yeah.
That I loved reading this the second time just as much as the first, where I was just like, I cannot put these chapters down right now because I just like am savoring her being so just awesome.
I sent you guys a carousel on Instagram that was like, is this male main character baby girl or daddy?
Yeah.
It was like all of these characters, and it was like Xaden, daddy, Rhysand, daddy. There were some baby girls. I don't know. I hadn't read any of them. And then you get to the last one and it's like Aelin, daddy.
Hell yeah.
this is Aelin, daddy energy.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. All right. Chapter 47. Swaggering into the Assassin's Keep like the absolute goddess of death, Aelin confronts her former colleagues and a brilliant fake crying Lysandra over Arobynn's bloody corpse. When the master of the bank arrives to read the will, the entire room is left completely speechless as he reveals that Arobynn left his entire fortune, properties, and the guild exclusively to Celaena Sardothien. With a savage, triumphant grin, the newly crowned Queen of the Assassins mercilessly kicks Clarice out of the house, forces the treacherous assassins to buy back their own freedom, and officially secures the massive funds needed for Terrason's army. And that's one of the places she's been in the middle of the night, is switching all the bank stuff.
Yep, that's what she was doing. She was going to the bank. She had been going to the bank a lot to just like to get a layout of it, so that she could sneak in at night, forge the papers.
Yep. Got the trust of the bank master also, who was like, oh yeah, I know who you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we had our Ocean's 11 reveal, and it was great.
So good. And then we find out in like 2 more chapters there's other stuff that she's doing in the middle of the night. But okay, chapter 48. Refusing to tolerate any insubordination after the Yellowlegs breeding horror, Manon Blackbeak brutally beats Asterin in front of the entire mess hall, though her fiercely loyal second refuses to flinch. Later, Duke Perrington forces Manon to fly a hollowed-out Caltaine Rompier over a rebel mountain village. to test a devastating new weapon. The 13 watch in absolute horror as Kaltain unleashes a catastrophic wave of burnless shadow fire, incinerating the helpless villagers and proving that the Duke is harnessing a dark, world-ending power. I think... So I said, like 3 books ago, when I was talking about how realistic the horrors in this book are and how unkind the Maasverse is to women, the person I was talking about was Kaltain.
Yeah.
And I would like to state for the record that the person I'm talking about is still Kaltain.
Yes.
Like, like the shit that this woman is being put through and the shell of herself that she has become is gut-wrenching.
Yeah. It's wild.
I mean, she's a Valg-controlled human at this point, who also, at least in this continent, has the most powerful magic outside of the king and Dorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, chapter 49. After officially claiming her massive new fortune, Aelin shares a deeply emotional moment by the river with Aedion, who fiercely promises to share the crushing burden of her crown. Later, Aelin and Lysandra pull off a flawless, frilly disguise to subtly interrogate a bakery worker, discovering that a dealer hoarding a highly volatile hellfire, fled into the city's ancient catacombs. Armed with this explosive intel, Aelin leads Rowan, Aedion, and Chaol into the charred ruins of the Shadow Market, leaping down a dark grate to finally secure the weapon she needs to destroy the clock tower. They have a back and forth for like almost half a page here about the ghost leopard. So this, and they're like, Lysandra's like, what's a ghost leopard? And they're like, oh, they would totally be your kind of animal, you know, like big with like the big paws and the fangs and the claws and green eyes. And then she blinks her green eyes felinely. And it's like, all right, we get it.
Ghost leopards, maybe those are real.
All right, chapter 50. In which Aedion has a bad feeling about this over and over and over again, like freaking Han Solo in the first Star Wars movie. Exploring the pitch black catacombs beneath the city, the group discovers a chilling ancient temple constructed entirely from bones and confessions of sinners. Using the legendary sword Damaris, Aelin unlocks a hidden stone wall covered in word marks and translates the horrifying truth. The first king Gavin, never actually killed the Valg king Arobynn. They realized with absolute dread that Arobynn was merely sealed in a tomb beneath the Black Mountains of Morath, meaning the king of Adarlan is actively building his demonic army right on top of the sleeping dark god. And we know that that's where the witches are. But they don't know that until that she won't discover that it's him until chapter 3. She finds out in 2 chapters that that's where the witches are.
I also say Erewhon. Am I wrong?
Erewhon. Yeah, I say Erewhon.
Like the grocery store?
Erewhon?
Yep.
Isn't that the grocery store?
Yes.
In LA?
WHON at the end, but yes.
Also, I think I'm gonna be real fucking nerdy about this right now.
About the grocery store was $20 movies?
No, that's Wegmans. I don't think Gavin was the first king. I think it was Brannon. I think Brannon was the first king, and Gavin.
I don't remember which one's first.
Brannon is 100% first. That I'm 100% sure about that. I just know he was technically the first king, but things like that might be important, so I just want to say it.
Okay.
These are some of those chapters that kind of wash over me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't. Got it.
I love
Shadow,
this.
Daddy's
No, this is my jam.
Numbers
I love this shit. I love fucking lore like this.
There's so many pages.
So does Amanda. Like, she's all about the Greek mythology.
But I can't physically hold all of this in my brain at once. So, I don't know.
I need a family tree.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I had to forget a couple state capitals so that I could remember what a Valg was.
Which is more important.
Right.
But the big thing that we do need to know is that Erewhon was not killed.
He merely slumbers beneath the mountains.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 51. Tensions reach a bloody boiling point among the 13 when a furious Asterin openly challenges Manon for enabling the horrific demon breeding program. And then Sorrel gets... Bless you. So Sorrel says, I'm like she uses more pronouns than this, so I'm adjusting it a little bit, but she says, "We would never defy you, Manon, but we defy that human worm's right to use our bodies as if they were his own." And like, yes. So the violent standoff is interrupted when a possessed mortal guard infiltrates their barracks, unleashing a wave of mind-bending darkness that forces the witches to hallucinate their worst nightmares. Manon ruthlessly slaughters the demon to break the spell, but makes the chilling realization the Valg darkness only successfully incapacitated the witches who possessed ordinary eyes, while those with the coveted Blackbeak gold-flecked eyes remained completely immune. I do think something happened in the last chapter with eyes also, and the Valg guy, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, we have multiple sets of people now with gold-flecked eyes.
Yeah. So. And also Xaden has gold-flecked eyes.
Interesting.
So that might be relevant. About Xaden?
Yeah, he might be a witch.
He's not. He's
You're a witch, Xaden.
And Fourth Wing, actually parallel worlds.
That's it. Well, one of you said it, I think, like 2 episodes ago, that Rebecca Yaros read the Manon Blackbeak story and was like, "I'm gonna write a whole book about this."
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, this is her fanfic. Absolutely.
I'm here for it. Yeah, no, this is crazy. All of the 13 are like openly defying her.
Yep.
To basically be like, you can't, because the Duke comes to her and is like, "We need another coven.
I want Blackbeaks.
And I want Blackbeaks." And so she gets the 13 together and she's like, "Pick a coven." And they're like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
And they're like, "You pick the coven." And then the 13 are actually like, "We would rather go than name any of our sisters to do this." And it's like, again, I know we're not, like, I am trying to ascribe witch morality to the witches. But like the witch loyalty is to the witches. And so I'm really glad that everyone said this to her, but then this thing happens. And so she, again, has not had her awakening. I'm ready for her to awaken.
But also, and we've talked about this, and by we, I mean Amanda, a million times. But like the 13th act of resistance here, of being like, we would rather die.
Yeah.
We would rather be fully exiled and be like chased for the rest of our lives than to give in to something that we know is evil and wrong.
And I do think that Manon's upbringing was drastically different than the rest of the 13, as in like, she's the heir. She was forced to kill the Croken Witch in the last book in front of everyone. Like, the others didn't have. So like, you're not wrong. I'm filling in these pieces that haven't been explicitly said. Right. But I do think I think you're right. And I think that's why she hasn't come along.
I indoctrinated in like a much more serious way.
I believe that how I'm feeling is how I'm supposed to feel. But I am feeling it.
Good. Yeah.
And it's annoying, but it's supposed to be annoying. So like, Sarah is doing a great job writing this book because I'm annoyed. All right, our last chapter is chapter 52. Nezrin drops a massive, terrifying intelligence report on the rebels. The King of Adarlan has successfully bred an army of wyvern-riding Iron Teeth witches and is a massive Valg is massing a massive Valg infantry in Morath. I can't read today.
No, that was Gemini. Gemini was trolling you there.
While processing the impending continent-wide war, Aelin is suddenly ambushed in a dark alley by the Fey warrior Lorcan, who presses a knife to her throat to demand the word key before disappearing into the night. Back at the apartment, a deeply shaken Rowan apologizes for failing to protect her, leading to a breathtakingly intimate high-tension moment where he literally bares his fangs against her exposed neck, completely shattering all the boundaries between them. So much happens in this chapter. So Lorcan says, I'm going to need y'all to help me explain this. So Lorcan says the ring that she gave back to Maeve was not just any ring, and Maeve is not being a sentimental little sweetheart. The ring protects you from Valg forces.
It protects you from being like controlled by the
From
Valg.
being like possessed, yeah. And so he's like, you gave away your own immunity, and Maeve wants all of the Wyrdstones.
Word keys.
But I am going to get them first to destroy them.
Yeah.
To protect her.
To protect her.
To protect Maeve.
Yes. Because Lorcan is blood oathed to Maeve.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, right now, she doesn't know this is what's best for her, but I know this is what's best for her.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to protect her.
He's like, I'm sort of circumventing the blood oath because my intention is for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he tell her anything about the ring?
He has it.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So he's got the ring. Yeah.
And he shows it to her. And I don't remember how they leave things.
They just he left. He's like, if you want.
He left. He's like, yeah, bring me the
word key,
the amulet or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I'll
give you the ring. And then Rowan loses his goddamn mind because he's like, I failed you as your protector. And she's like, it's fine. And he's like, it's not fine. If you die, I will follow you. I will find you in death. Which is very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally every male character in this series, though, because Kale is like, I have failed. And Aedion is like, I have failed. And Rowan now is like, I have failed.
And my axe.
Right.
Look, sometimes we need, like, Sarah is just writing us fan fiction in which men admit their faults.
Right. This is why it's fantasy, guys. I've never been wrong.
In which men admit that they've done something wrong. But then she does this thing where she's like, her way of telling, he's like, how do you trust? You can't trust me to keep you safe. And she's like, I trust you. And then she's like, just like gives him her neck.
Like a fucking giraffe.
And then he doesn't he's not like chomping on it. We're not, this isn't Quicksilver. But he's just like a little nibble. And then she's basically like, and he's like, not now.
Aedion will hear.
Yeah, he said something sexy, but I don't remember what it is. I think it's like, I want to take my time with you or something.
Yeah.
He's basically like, I'm going to show you to all seven gods.
I'm going to introduce you to all seven gods. What is it that Rhysand says? Until the pictures fall off the wall.
Yeah.
Put your hands on the headboard.
Say, put your hands on the headboard.
My queen, my bed, my kingdom.
We're going to play the quiet game.
Gotta take a break to have some snacks.
That's right. So some soup.
And like some water, because that happens in Mate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we've got a lot of books.
You must have water.
You must have water. And that's where we leave things. I thought it was a great stopping point.
Yeah, no, solid stopping point. What happens next, Amanda?
Well, I don't know. They're trying to take, it seems like the big thing that they're planning now is to take down the tower so that magic is free. So I think that's going to be how this book ends. But that means they're not going to actually start doing it until the 82nd percentile of the book. So some stuff's going to happen between now and then. I don't know what that stuff is.
Okay, so that's that in that side of the world.
I think Manon has now, she's going to have her reckoning. She must. Okay. She must have her reckoning. The 13 are going to break from the Iron Teeth, and they're going to do, I don't know if they're going to destroy them or if they're just going to peace out and fly away. But they're taking Elide with them.
Got it.
And they killed Roland. Is that true? Roland's dead?
They killed Roland. Roland's dead.
Oh, and we also didn't talk about the fact that when Aelin goes to say goodbye to Arobynn for the last time, she chops his head off.
Oh yeah,
even though he's dead.
And she's like, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Which
so we basically, he died 3 times basically.
Yeah.
We cut his throat. We see his we learn that he choked on his own blood, and then she chops his head off.
Honestly,
and also Lysandra sat there while he choked in his own blood.
She kind of just laid there.
They mentioned multiple times this was not a fast death.
Yeah.
And so she literally was like, yep, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm gonna sit here while he suffers and wastes away.
I'm obsessed with her.
Right.
One more name I will throw, and that will be our last questions for you, Amanda. Dorian.
So I still maintain that Dorian's getting out of this alive. I don't know how.
Okay.
But I don't know. We see him on t-shirts, and I'm pretty sure he gets a girlfriend. So
all right.
I don't know how he's getting out of this alive. Maybe when magic is freed, is he stronger than the Valg Prince because he's of some kind of magical magic? I don't know, but he's getting out of here alive, and I think I know who he ends up with. So
okay,
he's getting out of here alive because we've got romance to romance. So
Amanda, I am so excited for you to read the last third of this book.
Oh Lord.
I love the last third of this book.
I'm having a great time. I like every part of this series more than the last part.
Yeah. We're out of the sewers now.
Helps.
Really happy about, I mean, we're not totally out of the sewers, but like
there's now we're in the catacombs, which are below the sewers.
Oh, super sewers.
Super sewers. I thought the way they did the catacombs was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that like the confessions were scrawled on the bones, I thought was really neat. I don't know. I feel like you've seen one catacomb, you've seen all the catacombs, but they made them cooler.
Was that from Blood and Ash?
From Blood and Ash had the names.
Yeah.
The names
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what have you been reading?
What have I been reading? I finished some books. Hold on. Since we last spoke, I finished Thank You for Calling the Lesbian Line. 3 stars. It was fine. I was really interested in like the stories of the people, but there was so much commentary that I was not interested in that I was like, I would have just liked to read the stories. So there's that. And I finished Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I listened to. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I will like, if Casey McQuiston writes it, I'm going to read it. I love them. So I'm just going to keep trucking through. And I started and got about halfway through The Astral Library by Kate Quinn today. I do want you guys to know my Goodreads glitched and gave me a bunch of rewards. And I guess I'm not the only one this happened to because it has now unglitched.
Oh.
And so now I can earn my rewards properly. So the Astral Library will get me the first reward that I'm trying to get. So that's where I'm at. And next up, I'm waiting on my hold for Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers to come through, because that will get me also a reward.
That's been on my TBR for a while.
Right. What else are we reading?
What'd you read, Kim?
As I said, I'm going to get off this call and try to speed read my last hour of Project Hail Mary, because I am almost done with that, which I super enjoy. I am really excited afterwards to eventually see the movie also, which may or may not happen in the theater because I don't really like theaters. But I do want to see the movie because everyone says it's great. But the thing about Andy Weir, the author, is he is so deep into the science. Like, he is a fucking nerd when it comes to the science. And I love that for him. And like, it's kind of fun when you're reading it, but there's also just sort of like a lot of details that I'm just like, math, physics, relativism. Like, I
don't read science fiction, honestly, because I'm like, I can't.
Well, and most of it's just sort of like, this happened, but he's like, no, this happened at 2 times 0.96 atmospheres to the second. And you're like, okay. And then it's like, yeah. And like 212 degrees Celsius and the ammonia versus the oxygen. And I'm like, okay, dude, great. That sounds awesome. Cool. But really enjoying it. About to be done with it. And then back to DCC because I got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to finish that before BookCon.
Hooray.
I read The Road of Bones by Demi Winters, I think it was. It seems to be a hotness. The new one came out a month ago. I went back and forth in this, and I let it sit for a day. I actually gave it 5 stars. I really did.
Is this the Icelandic one?
This is the Icelandic one.
Nice.
I went back and forth with it because there was some I had some issues with the writing, a little tiny quirks, and just some things that kept on popping up. But overall, I couldn't put it down. I really loved the characters. Similar to you, Amanda, throughout a lot of this book, I was angry, and I was supposed to be angry at one of the characters, and I was I really loved the twist at the end. So it ended up being 5. I gave it 4 stars because I was this is where I feel good now. But after a day, I was no, I really fucking love this book. So, and then I read 1 chapter of Direbound.
Wow.
That's what we're reading next.
I was at Barnes & Noble last night for a minute, and I'm just throwing out a book that I think I'm going to read. It's called Starside. It was on this new release thing. It's written by Alex Aster, who is the author of Lightlark.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested. And something non-book related, I'm going to give you guys a fun prompt to play with. Because I did this, and I hope you guys can see it when I put it up. The prompt was, and everyone, if you're listening, check at this point of the video. It should be around 1 minute, 1 hour and 6 minutes. The prompt I gave it was Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, 1999. I need you to create a photo of a house party. And I want you to know that this is exactly the house parties that I went to. And I can tell you when I sent this to the boys, multiple people were like, wait, is that Sabrina in the Fila? That girl looks exactly like one of our friends. Down to
Is that the only thing you said? You didn't give it any more context than that?
Not much.
Okay.
I recognize that American Eagle sweater in the back also.
And the other thing about it is the 80% guys to girls at the party also. I was this is so true to life. It's a really fun prompt. So everyone should have fun with that.
I'm doing it right now. Not for Bensonhurst, Brooklyn in 1999.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we asking?
Create a photo of whatever your high school year was at a house party in this location at this time. It was pretty wild. I was very impressed by the haircuts of these guys. It is total.
Coral Springs, Florida, 2005.
Is that true to you, or?
There's too many people here.
Okay.
I love that though.
There's too many people here, but I would say otherwise, yeah, outfits are accurate. Half the people are in the pool, half the people are in swim clothes. It seems that some people are wearing bathing suit bottoms and not tops. That feels accurate. The layout of the house feels accurate. There's just too many people.
Is that good, Kim?
2000, Farmington, Connecticut. House party. Yeah, the Tommy is not right, but the Abercrombie and the ball hats.
No,
there's too much Bud Light.
I'm going to tell it I need a slightly more intimate house party.
What's actually insane is this is the part that I was most impressed by. The window outside those houses is legit my block. I was I can't believe that. So, all right. While they're playing with that, Amanda, I will say it. Our homework for everyone listening or watching is to finish this book, which is Queen of Shadows.
Yep.
Okay.
It's chapter 53 to 89.
To the end
is the final countdown. And then we're going to take a little break from Throne of Glass to read Direbound and Furybound.
Sure are.
Oh, this is already going to be better, I can tell.
Nice.
I'm ready.
You like it? It's a fun prompt. It's a really fun prompt. Everyone,
I'm actually going to be able to see people's faces now. So, yeah.
Okay, so Jamie, dear friend Jamie, if you have made it this far with us, can you do this prompt? Because I am curious about what a house party in Australia the year that you were in high school.
Yeah, dude, send me that picture. I want to see it. That's really fun.
So I'm just telling you right now, that's Stephanie and Rebecca.
I love that.
Like 10,000%. They're dressed the same. They're standing next to each other. These guys are better look. All these people are better looking than the people the boys are better looking than the people I went to high school with. Every woman I went to high school with is the most beautiful and successful person that's ever existed on the planet. It's truly an embarrassment of riches. The guys are fine.
These house party photos have too many solo cups in them because we were using real glasses.
Wow. Okay, Connecticut.
That's right. And with that,
we were just drinking Bacardi Raz straight out of the bottle.
Seriously. Thank you all for listening. We will see you on the other side of Queen of Shadows.
Bye.
Bye.